It's back. It's here. It's another tier list video. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Hope you are doing well. Listen, guys, if you have checked this video out, you are in for a treat. I'm so excited to make this for you guys. Today, we are going to be talking about the best lead gen platforms for service-based businesses in 2026. So next year. And isn't it crazy, by the way, we're actually closer to 2030 than 2020. I thought 2020 was just literally yesterday. I mean, isn't it wild? But what we're going to be doing is going through a slew of different marketing and lead generation strategies below. I have the tier list here. So S is obviously elite, all the way down through A, B, C, D, and E. Obviously, you guys know the rules by now. The closer you are to S, the more elite you are. The closer you are to E, let's just say it's probably not the best way to spend your marketing dollars. Let's just say that. So obviously the better strategies and better marketing tips will appear in the upper portion of the list, and the ones that are not good will appear in the D and E category. All right. But guys, strap in, grab a drink, grab a snack, whatever you want to do. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be fun, and I really can't wait. And if you guys haven't yet, hit subscribe. I'm on the way to 10,000 subs. Not getting a 100,000 subscriber plaque just yet. I don't even know if they do a 10,000 one. I don't think they do. I would like to get one at least, but maybe that's in the cards. And just wanted to say, if you guys have any questions through this video, feel free to email me at sean@needmomentum.com. And you can always call our office line at 215-607-6482. If you have any marketing questions, if you just honestly want me to answer a couple questions, totally free, no pressure. Just want to provide value and build a relationship here. I think we all want to do that. Excuse me. I think we're all tired of being sold to. That's really what I want to avoid. I just want to offer value to you and your business. Sound good? All right, let's get started, guys. So what I want to do is go through every single tier list here really quickly just to show you what it is, and then I will get started. So going from left to right, I have email marketing here. Email marketing is very important. SEO, this is very important as well. I have networking, so building networks, going to events, parties, stuff like that, podcasts, stuff like that. We'll talk about that in a second. Google ads, very popular. Meta ads, very popular. Direct mail, interesting. I'm excited to share my opinion on this. AI, probably the most popular lead generation strategy and platform on the market, but is it the best? We'll talk about that in a second. Social media, so social media marketing, going over Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, Tumblr, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, all of the different ones, right? Pinterest, right? Have a couple clients that are using Pinterest, and they're actually seeing a lot of results, interestingly enough, but we'll get to that in a second. And we have the good old Google business profile here. So this is great. www, obviously this is for your website. I have cold calling here, hence you can see the phone and the the cold emoji icon, whatever you want to call it. And last but not least, referrals. So here we go. With that being said, guys, I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go? Let's go through this. I'm super excited. Again, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And we are going to start in no particular order. We are going to start with referrals first. And I'm going to put referrals at the top of the list. Guys, if you have clients that are giving you new clients, you're literally spending $0 your cost per acquisition for a new client, there's nothing better than that. And the thing that I think people don't understand is if you provide a good service, you really don't need marketing. That's the thing. It's like if your product or service is so dang good, you're just going to get a bunch of referrals. It's really as simple as that. It's one of those things that, again, someone who is referring you a business, you're so much more likely to go with that business, right? I mean, how many times have you guys said, oh, what's a good cheesesteak place? I'm in Philadelphia, so cheesesteaks are like very prominent, right? Oh, what's a good cheesesteak place? Some people will say Jim's, some people will say Ishkabibbles, some people will say Joey Merlino's cheesesteaks, some people will say a lot of other ones, right? But at the end of the day, if you are talking to your friend, you're like, oh, this cheesesteak place is fantastic. Screw all these other ones. How much more inclined are you to actually go to the one your friend recommends? I think everyone is very inclined to go to the one that your friend recommends, right? So referrals take the cake. Unbelievable way to grow a service-based business. You're not spending any money. It's totally free. And on top of that, I would assume it's a lot easier to convert them because you've already done the service very well for their business partner, for their colleague, for their spouse or friend or whatever. You've already essentially kind of worked in their ecosystem. So referrals take the cake for me. Moving on, we are going to go. What are we going to do next? Let's do Google ads. Google ads. Where am I going to put Google ads? No, I'm just kidding. Google ads is going to go in the A tier. If you are a service area business, Google Ads is a good way to get clients, and I'm not just talking about Google search ads. I'm talking about Google local service ads. I'm talking about display ads. I'm talking about even YouTube, because at the end of the day, Google owns YouTube. So I am talking about YouTube ads as well. Very, very important to I make that distinction. The thing that's cool about Google ads, specifically the Google local service ads, is that's a pay per lead platform rather than a cost per click platform. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there's two different variations of Google ads, the Google local service ads and the Google search ads. Google search ads is you have to create copy, create videos and creative and drive it to a landing page, all this stuff, right? And really at the end of the day, you're spending money every single time you see an ad, people click on the ad, but that doesn't really result in conversions at the end of the day, right? So if you have a Google local service ad up, you're actually paying per lead, which is great. And, again, it's one of those things that this has been a little bit more of a saturated topic, I would say, as time goes on in 2025. But I still think it's a damn good way where, listen, if you have a little bit of money to spend and you're looking to put it on one particular advertising platform, for my money, it's going to be LSA, the local service ads, Google guaranteed, same thing, right? Very, very important. Again, it's just, you got to think the cost per acquisition, you got to think the money you're spending, and it's a very easy platform to run. I mean, anyone who's ran Google local service ads is very, very easy to do. So check that out. Google LSA, I will say, for certain niches has been, had their issues, as does all marketing, right? A lot of real estate issues because the market is just very competitive. It's very interesting right now. I think we can all agree on that. So Google Ads takes the A tier in my humble opinion. So let's see what we can do next. What are we going to do? Let's do meta ads. So meta ads, where are we going to put this? I am going to put meta ads in the B tier. So if you're a service-based business, let's just say you're a plumbing business, right? Meta ads are okay for getting clients. The reason they're not at an A or an S is because people, for the most part, are going to be going on Google or any search engine to find a service, to find a company to do the service for them, in this case, a plumber, right? They're not necessarily going to go on Meta, Instagram, and Facebook to find a plumber. Maybe they're like making a post or something like that. Hey, can I get a referral? Which would be a referral, making a post like that. But they're not actually searching for the most part on Meta, at least not yet, right? If they're running Meta ads, you have to put like a nice graphic up there, a nice video. You have to run it to a landing page. It can work. It's one of those things that I haven't seen work actually very, very well, very, very well. But at the end of the day, it's not the best. It's not the best. It can be very expensive, a lot of work up front. If Meta had like a Google local service ads version to it, I don't even know how that would work, where it's a pay per lead platform instead of like a pay per click platform. I would say Meta is going to be a little bit higher. And hey, maybe they have it, in the works. I don't know. It's one of those things as time goes on. Good old Zuckerberg is going to, from my knowledge, make something like that, right? So that's honestly what I'm thinking he can come up with in the years to come. But yeah, TBD. We'll have to see, right? So let's go from there. So Meta is in the B category. What are we going to do next? Let's go with email marketing. So email marketing, I'm talking about cold emails, and I am talking about like MailChimp, stuff like that, right? If you guys are using, what's a good email system, like a Twilio, or maybe like a SendGrid, stuff like that. These, email marketing platforms, that's what I would recommend. I'm trying to think anyone like Constant Contact, stuff like that. MailChimp, in my opinion, is probably the most popular. I think we can all agree. And I am going to put email marketing in the B tier. So for email marketing, guys, it's tough, right? Because with the laws that we have to have for compliance, we can't just scrape anybody's email. They have to be opted in to some level of degree. So it's one of those things where actually getting the emails can be a little bit of a pain. With that being said, you can use like a D7 lead finder. You can use like a leads gorilla to find potential leads. But a lot of the time, they're not that good at scraping. Sometimes they are, but I really like to put email marketing in the B tier because of MailChimp and actually retargeting and remarketing to past customers. And what I mean by that is MailChimp, for the most part, you're not advertising to new customers. I mean, maybe you might, but you're actually advertising to previous customers that have already bought and getting them to buy more. So for instance, with Momentum, we have a service that is kind of like an entry-level service where it's a Google Business Reinstatement Program. So essentially, if your business profile is suspended, we can fix it for you. And then we add you to our email list. And it's like, oh, we also can do this for you, do that for you after we reinstate it, of course, blah, 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 all this stuff. Very important, right? So I would recommend, setting up a MailChimp account. I mean, I think it's totally free up to like 2,000 recipients or subscribers or whatever. I would check it out. I mean, if you have an email list that's small, use MailChimp. Listen, you only can, lose time, I would say, just doing this. You're not really going to necessarily lose money. There's debate about what's more valuable. In my opinion, it's time, but just for the sake of this video, I won't get too philosophical. I'll try to stay focused here. Email marketing is going to be in the B tier. Cold email is tough. It's one of those things you got to set up multiple domains, set up all these different avatars, and it is tough, but you can work it at scale. It's one of those things where I would recommend to actually utilize a company to do this for you, because setting up all the different domains is very, very time consuming. And again, you don't want to get your main domain flagged or blacklisted because you're sending out way too many emails, right? But I have seen it work very well, especially with MailChimp. All right. Let's move on from here. What are we going to do? Maybe I'm going to put some controversial things out there. What will I go with next? Let's go with SEO. So SEO it's elite. I mean, who are we kidding here? SEO is very elite, whether we're talking about website SEO, whether we're talking about Google business profiles, which I'll get to in a second, blogs, technical SEO, on-page SEO. The fact of the matter is, you do this once, you fix this, you make new blog pages, you continually do that, and you're not spending money doing this. It's very easy to learn. You go on YouTube, you learn how to do it, and you at the end of the day know what to do. You can do it yourself, and you have a zero cost per acquisition. That's what I'm getting at here, guys. It's a zero cost per acquisition. People go on the Google profile, they go on your website, they go on maybe a blog you wrote, and they call you right from there. There's no better, other than referrals, of course, right? In my opinion, there's nothing better. And we'll get to a lot, some other good lead gen strategies in this video. But for my money, guys, I mean, SEO, it still takes the cake. If you have a service-based business, you need to be found for a service that you're doing in a particular area. Learn SEO, whether it's you're hiring a company to do it for you or you're doing it yourself. Learn how to do it. It's very important. It's very easy. I learned how to do it in about a week. Technical SEO, on-page SEO, blogs, Google business profiles, I mean, all that stuff. It's very, very important. And I would argue it's honestly been the most important thing that Momentum has done, not just for our clients, but for ourselves in terms of acquisition since 2015. So we're going to be celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year, which is pretty cool, right? So SEO takes the cake. It is elite, no doubt about it whatsoever. Let's go with direct mail. So guys, I'm going to put direct mail in C. And the reason I'm doing this is direct mail is, let's just call it for what it is. It is an outdated thing. Now, if you're a service area business and you're putting out flyers there, you're going to need to have a pretty damn good offer of what you're doing and what you're offering and what the flyer looks like, because How many times have you got a flyer, whether it's on your car window shield, it's on your doorstep, and you're like, this looks trashy, it looks freaking terrible, and you throw it right in the trash, right? So you got to make it look very appealing. But even then, majority of people are going to take it, crumble it up, and throw it out. Again, the majority of people, this is a digital age, guys. This is why I say it's digital marketing services, not like Neanderthal marketing services. I know I'm going to catch a lot of slack in that in comments, but fuck it, whatever. Um, Direct mail is not where it used to be. I've seen it work with companies like PostGrid that do direct mail at a very cheap cost, I might add. But with that being said, guys, it's not that good. It's one of these things where it is outdated. Um, I don't know. I mean, for my money, you can spend your money a lot better elsewhere with all the things that I've just aforementioned. But to each their own at the end of the day. To each their own. I've seen it work. I've used direct mail. Um, I probably haven't sent out enough direct mail flyers out there to actually see an ROI, or at least to make a decision one way or the other. But I already spent like $1,000, and I'm like, hey, if I didn't get anything, they're very unlikely that I'm going to use this again. So that's kind of where I'm getting at. I mean, again, let me know what you guys think in the comments, because it's one of those things that I think, I don't know, direct mail is very outdated. I think a lot of people will agree with me, but I know some people, like, their direct mail connoisseurs, are like, no, Sean, this is great. You got to continue to use this. So that's just my thought process, right? What are we going to go? I feel like networking is kind of on a lonely island here. So let's go with this. So networking, where am I going to put networking? Networking. So we're talking about podcasts. We're going to talk about like going to an event, maybe like speaking, stuff like that. I'm going to put it in the B tier. I think networking is still good. The one thing that networking can be is a little bit of a time sink. So what I mean by that is you spend a lot of time, you shake a lot of hands, you kiss a lot of babies, you go on podcasts, but sometimes you just don't get referrals. Like, you don't get people, hitting you up. Because at the end of the day, people are trying to do the same thing, right? It's very unlikely that that person you met will, I mean, hey, maybe they'll be a good person and, be a good networker and be like, oh yeah, like I know this, Sean guy, he's a marketing company. You need marketing, here you go. Talk to him, right? But I want to say as time goes on, like those relationships are still going to be very important, right? But it's not as important as, I'm just talking about like the best strategies. There are better strategies to get more clients, because again, even though you're not necessarily spending money, I mean, maybe you're spending money to go on a podcast, maybe you spend money on a ticket to go to a networking event for the most part, right? Networking is it's a little bit of time sink. You go there, maybe you drive 20 minutes outside of the office, you're tired, maybe your suit's a little wrinkled, right? Maybe you haven't worn it in forever, and maybe you're just tired, you don't have your A game, and you think, by the end of it, maybe you met a couple people, you put yourself out there, maybe you met a lot of people, but you don't know if you got an ROI. It's more of a long-term thing. You're not going to see like an immediate ROI off of this. So that's kind of my whole little spiel there, right? So yeah, I think networking is good. I do a lot of podcasts. I do a lot of networking, but it's more so for like brand awareness and like people to like, Google me and be like, oh, cool. Like, Sean's on podcast. He's, current in the digital marketing age. He's like, very relevant. That's, I guess, the best way to put it. Right. So let's do that. What are we going to do? So we have only 5 left. What am I going to choose? Let's do cold calling next. So cold calling, S tier, obviously. No, I'm just kidding. This is going to get a little bit of slack. So cold calling is, in my opinion, it's dying. I think we can all agree that cold calling is dying. The whole age of calling, a la Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street, you call up this person, oh, you try to sell them on a certain product or service. I mean, those days are over, I would say, kind of like direct mail. It's pretty much the same thing. They're both cold outreaches. Can they work? Yes, absolutely. If you have a great offer, if it's a good time, if they need what you sell, it is great. If you have perfect timing like that, if you're able to find data where you can kind of merge that perfect time with the service, I don't know if that even exists, but with that being said, you can get success from cold calling. It's just, you got to make a lot of phone calls. You got to do a lot of work, and you're not really. It's a little bit of an inefficient way of getting clients, in my opinion. If I was to do this, I would recommend, again, referrals, SEO, Google Ads. These are the better platforms that in my opinion, my humble opinion, I'm not Gary Vee over here, in terms of marketing yet, but that's my thought process, right? So we'll go from there. What are we going to go with next? Let's go with social media. Social media. I was thinking about doing C or B. Why don't I just put it between it? Give it like a C plus, a B minus kind of thing. Social media is overrated in the sense of people's expectations that they're going to get a lot of customers very fast from doing it. If you're just doing organic social media, and I'm talking about organic Meta, TikTok, stuff like that, it's going to take a lot of time to do this, to get clients. Maybe you're boosting reels, maybe you're boosting money or boosting posts, stuff like that, right? To get more money and get more clients. It takes a lot of time, right? It takes, even if you're doing paid ads on this, it does take a lot of time. You got to make content. You got to edit the content. You got to make a content counter. It's a lot, and it's never ending. You always, like I'm doing right now, right? Because this is going to go on YouTube, a social media platform, right? It's a lot of time. And I'll tell you, like, it takes a lot of time to make reels and make videos. But at the end of the day, I like to do at least YouTube videos for just the fact that people can Google this particular phrase and they will find it and they will go to it, and they will get value from this video. At least I hope so. Even if one person gets value out of this video, that's what I like to do, right? So maybe I'll put it just up here for the fact that we're including YouTube, which is a search engine. And but I don't know. I mean, you look at platforms like TikTok and people are doing these fucking crazy dances and shit, and it's like, does that really generate a lot of business? Probably not, right? I'm just laughing at you guys. But, yeah, I've done my fair share of dances too on TikTok. It is what it is. You got to go through that phase. It's a growth phase. So it is what it is, all right? So yeah, we'll leave it like as a C plus, B minus kind of thing. It is what it is. But notice we haven't had any D or E. I think, it's at least worth trying every single thing. Gosh, what's one that would be a D or E? I'm trying to think. Maybe like, I don't know. I mean, direct mail might need to be D. I don't know. I'll be nice. I'll be nice today. Let's move on. We got 3 more here. AI. So what's my thoughts on AI? Is AI an elite tier? Is it terrible? What do I think about AI? AI, I'm going to give it a B plus to an A minus. And I know a lot of people who are big AI connoisseurs are going to be like, Sean, you're crazy. AI is the best thing since sliced bread. It's going to make our lives so much easier. And then I know people on the other side of the fence that don't like AI. They're like, Sean, you should have it lower. It sucks. It's going to take all of our souls, and it's going to be robots and kill us all, right? Calm down, both sides. I like to, I guess, sit on the fence and just hear both sides of the conversation and make my own opinion from that, right? Here's my thoughts on AI. AI is going to be very revolutionary for a lot of different ways. But I'll just say this. Is AI as good as it is? And I might be wrong. This might be, kind of like an outdated take here, but is AI going to be able to think as well as a human being in the sense of creating not just a system, not just this, not just that, but from like an artistic perspective? And what I mean by that is writing blogs, writing or making a YouTube video, because I'm sure AI in the future is going to be able to make videos. Is it going to have the same level of creativity that a human being will? I would argue it is going to get very close, if not pretty much eerily similar, but humans are always going to have that upper level because we designed AI. I believe that AI is, I don't know, I think it's inevitable that AI is sometimes at some point going to be smarter than humans. But at the same time, I just don't think it's there yet. I think AI, like, you can't write blogs with AI, like put it in ChatGPT, write this 1,500 word blog. Like, you're going to get blacklisted on Google doing that. Not a good idea. It's not there yet. It's very helpful for creating ideas, creating systems, organizing things, stuff of that nature. It's very helpful in my business, but I don't want to say it's all the best thing ever because, well, how do you actually use AI? Like it's really good for chatbots and support and stuff like that, but it still needs to be better. So many people are very they love these AI bots, but it's like, hey man, it's great, but it needs to get better. It needs to have better processing time. It needs to be more accurate. It needs to have a better experience to the customer. I think so many people, they do these chatbots and it's like they don't have a good experience when a customer is checking it out, right? Because at the end of the day, if a bot is pissing off a customer, why can't a human just go in there and have emotional empathy and understanding? Again, I know, like, okay, AI, you go on ChatGPT, it can have a little bit of like emotion on that too. So maybe I just contradict myself, but that's my whole thought. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic for content, for different marketing initiatives, thinking about different YouTube videos, thinking about all these different things, maybe generating lead generation strategies for SEO or Google ads or meta ads, or hey, maybe Google me a list of past clients in our CRM. Here's a whole list. Put together all of the clients in a list in Philadelphia, itemize them, and send it to me. It's good for stuff like that, right? Is it going to get more creative as time goes on? Yes, it will. It's not there yet. I think we can all agree on that, or at least not totally disagree with me if you're on the other side. I know people are going to dislike this video just for my take on AI, but it is what it is. I'm a human being. I'm entitled to my own opinion. It is what it is, right? Cry. Don't cry about it. I know some people, they're like they love AI so much. They're like, oh, it's great. And then people don't like AI. They're like, oh, it's terrible. So it's just funny. Like it's like, Trump, right? People either love Trump or they hate Trump. You know what I mean? Same thing with COVID. They love the vaccines or they hate the vaccines. It's like, well, why can't we all come together? There's a middle ground here, right? It's not all black and white. And I think the media kind of likes to paint it that way for money, right? That's all I'll say about that. Otherwise, no one's going to be able to watch this video. All right. Well, we're at the tail end here. I think I was going to do 30 minutes. So let me finish up here. We have two more. So the Google business profile, I'm actually going to put this in front of SEO. Outside of referrals, the Google business profile is the best way to get clients. It's free, zero cost per acquisition. You get a bunch of reviews. You Google best plumber near me in Philadelphia. The profile pops up, a lot of good reviews. You're posting to the profile, hours of operation, phone number. I mean, how many leads, put in the comments, how many leads have you guys generated just from the Google business profile? That's why when people call us that their profile is suspended, they're like, oh my God, I lost my business. And it's like, that's kind of true. Like they don't have any other ways of getting leads, which really sucks, right? Outside of like referrals and maybe Google ads, stuff like that. But again, if you're doing Google local service ads, you need a verified and live Google business profile. So you're kind of in between a rock and a hard place there, I will say, but it is what it is. It happens. So call us if you need help. We can fix this. Last but not least, we're going to go through websites here. So websites, guys, websites are still good. They're still great, actually. If you have a website, you're writing blogs, and I know this kind of goes in between like SEO and stuff. It's kind of the same thing. But if you have a website, if you have a dedicated website, you're writing blogs, you're writing copy, you're writing content, it is invaluable. If you have a great website, the only thing I would say about a website, and I'm not talking about like, I know I'm kind of contradicting myself between SEO and like a website. I guess I was thinking about the same thing here, and this kind of is the same thing. So maybe I can kind of just merge the two, I guess. So they're kind of in the same little stratosphere there. But I think the one thing I will say about websites is if you have an outdated one, like you have really good SEO, look at maybe making the website a little bit more user-friendly, UX, UI. That's kind of what my thought process was with the website and why I made it like its own category outside of SEO, because I think outside of the whole SEO portion, you want to have good design work. You want to have it look good in the eyes of like someone who is checking out your stuff, like best plumber in Philadelphia. You go on their website. Oh my gosh, this is very, easy to use. Because listen, you can have the best SEO in the world. If your website just doesn't look good, people aren't going to convert. So you need both things. That's kind of my whole thought process with this. But guys, it's hard to believe it's been 30 minutes already. We are at the tail end of the best lead generation strategies for service-based businesses in 2026. there you have it. This is my honest opinion. Hit subscribe, hit like, comment below. Do you agree with me? Do you completely disagree? Do not click go. Just throw me in jail. Sean, your opinion means nothing. I will, I will, I don't know if I'm going to like your comment, but I'll definitely read it. You're open to your own opinion and everything in between. Guys, it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. We're on the road to 10,000 subs. I can't wait to hit that number. Probably, hopefully, going to do it before the end of 2025 here, but if not, it's been a great journey. I can't wait to keep making videos for you guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Salud. Bye.